unit and dimension. For measuring any quantity, we always need two things. When you want to measure the mass of a body or the length of a body, you need two things like 5 meter. You are measuring the length. 5 meter. This 5 is pure number known as numerical value, whereas this is called a standard unit. You see, the unit, word of unit has been very fascinating for the physicists. From ancient days, we have been very alert in inventing new units. In very old days, we used to measure lengths in terms of cubit. What's cubit? Cubit. This is the distance between tip of the middle finger and elbow. Likewise, yard, yard, the unit of length. This was supposed to be the distance between tip of the middle finger and tip of the nose of a French emperor. You see, now it becomes a comedy when we talk of all these things because these have been replaced by standard units. Now, the criteria for standard units are that these should be reproducible. Means whenever and when required, we can produce it. These units should be accessible within our access. So, standard units, we need and numerical value, we need. These are two things. Let's write N, U. N for numerical value, U for unit. If you decrease the size of unit, say centimeter, then this size will increase. It would become 500. What does it mean? 5 meter. That's 500 centimeter. Both are same. What you have done is simply you have reduced the size of unit, then size of numerical value has increased. You might say mathematically in this form. Or even it could be said Nu constant, N proportional to 1 upon U. Then standard units, standard will be maintained in terms of unit. It comes to quantities. There are two types of quantities. One is fundamental, the other is derived. You may have any number of quantities in physics. Fundamental quantities are 7 in number. These fundamental quantities are quite independent of each other, means they have got nothing to do with each other. These are 7: mass, length, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, and quantity of substance. You must be clear that when we say mass and when we say quantity of substance, the two things are different. Here we deal with the bulk of substance in the object under discussion, whereas this term refers to the number. It has the unit number of moles, Avogadro's mole, whereas this mass will be measured in kilogram, gram, all that. Overall, 7 fundamental quantities. For mass, you meet capital M, length, time, temperature, electric current quantity shown by letter I in general, but the notation for dimensional point of view, this will be A. Then goes quantity of substance, and for luminous intensity, we use phi. Their units are kilogram, meter, second, Kelvin, ampere, candela, and mole. 7 fundamental quantities. Other than 7 fundamental quantities, whatever remains shall be known as derived quantity. Any derived quantity, howsoever complex it is, you can split it into terms of fundamental. For example, you need a quantity. Suppose density, it's mass upon volume. Mass, volume is length, width, height, the product of these three. And basically these are lengths only, so it will be L cube. you have written in terms of mass and length. So it is derived quantity, density, velocity, momentum, force. Any quantity other than these seven shall be termed as derived. For systems, there have been many systems, but let's start from APS, that's known as British system. Prior to that, the systems now they have become obsolete. No need of discussing that. APS system started in 18th last century. APS system was mostly used in construction purposes, construction of buildings, etc. CDS system that evolved in 1832 and mostly it got the wide application in theoretical physics. This MKS system had wide application in the field of engineering and it was basically invented and introduced in 1861. But the last one that we are still using, that is globally accepted, globally all the physicists have accepted that this will be the only system that we use in each country, known as SI. SI stands for International System of Units. All the units that we use these days are that from SI only. This is known as global unit.